Have you found yourself wondering why you're still maintaining certain relationships? Or asking yourself why you ever entertained them in the first place? What part of you was it that felt that they were what you deserved? Hello everyone, welcome back to Beloved, a space for healing, reflection, and grace. I'm Cherise Rochelle, and today's episode is about a kind of grief we don't talk about enough. The grief of outgrowing people. When you begin to heal, when you know your worth, when you set boundaries and walk in self-respect, sometimes the people who used to fit into your life no longer do. And that can be really heartbreaking. It's not always about who's good or bad. Sometimes it's just about who is aligned and who isn't anymore. So why does this kind of grief hurt so much? We expect grief when someone passes away. We don't always expect grief when a friendship fades or a relationship ends, especially if nothing dramatic happened. It hurts because you've shared history, memories, or seasons together. You believed that they would be there for the long haul. A part of your identity may have been tied to them. Letting go feels like losing a piece of yourself. And when you start to heal, you may look back and see these patterns you couldn't see before. Times that you accepted treatment you now know you didn't deserve, or moments where you abandoned yourself to keep the connection. So let's look at a few signs that a relationship no longer serves the healed, whole version of you. You leave interactions feeling drained instead of nourished. Your boundaries are constantly ignored or dismissed. The relationship only works when you shrink yourself. Conversations no longer feel safe or honest. You feel guilt or anxiety instead of peace when you think about them. You notice that you're growing, but they're committed to staying the same. These aren't signs that you're better than someone else, just that you are in different seasons now. So I'm going to share a personal story. At the beginning of the year, I told one of my closest friends that I felt hurt and disrespected by the way that she was communicating with me. And she said she was sorry I felt that way, that it wasn't her intention, but she also made it very clear that she had no plans to change. 6 months later, the behavior hadn't stopped. There would be an apology each time because this person was aware that it wasn't okay, but then it would just repeat. And little by little, I realized how much it was eroding the trust and mutual respect that I thought that we had. I started asking myself, is this really the kind of friendship that I want to keep investing in as a close friendship? So what did I do? Did I keep hoping that this person would change? No. I said, this thing that you continue to do is very hurtful and disrespectful to me. You have expressed that you have no intention of changing it, and I respect your decision. But in order to protect myself emotionally, I need to step away from this kind of interaction with you. Did she take it well? No. And here's the hard truth. We can't control other people's reactions. As Christians, we're called to love others, but loving others well also means loving ourselves. We can empathize, but we are not responsible for someone else's feelings about the boundaries that we set. For those of us who have struggled with people pleasing, this can be especially uncomfortable, but it's necessary for our emotional health. It's also worth paying attention to how people respond when you express your needs. In a mutually loving and respectful relationship, concerns should lead to a mature conversation and an effort to work things through, or an honest decision to walk away. Of course, what stepping away looks like depends on the relationship. Boundaries in friendship will look different from boundaries in a marriage or in a family relationship, and these situations call for us to pray, to have discernment and wisdom in order to navigate them well. Why healing can mean letting go. So when God begins to heal you, He also begins to protect what He's restoring within you. That often means removing you from spaces, habits, and relationships that threaten your growth. So letting go is not rejection, it's redirection. And sometimes God's no more is his protection. You are allowed to miss someone and still know that life is better without the old dynamic. You are allowed to grieve and to move forward, and you are allowed to operate from a higher standard now that you know better. So let's take a biblical perspective. Amos chapter 3 verse 3 says, "Do two walk together unless they have agreed to do so?" Healthy connection requires alignment, shared direction, shared values, and shared heart posture. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 reminds us, "There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." Some relationships are for a season, and it's okay to release them when that season ends. So how do we grieve and heal? If you're in the middle of this kind of grief, here are a few ways to walk through it with grace. Acknowledge the loss. Pretending that you do not care doesn't make it hurt less. Allow yourself to feel. Sadness does not mean that you made the wrong choice. Pray over them, bless them, even from a distance. Journal your growth. Remind yourself why you had to step away. And fill your circle with the healthy. Create space for new, life-giving connections. Today's affirmation is, I can honor the role that someone played in my life while releasing them with love. I trust that God will align me with people who match the healed version of me. We're going to close on this scripture, taken from Isaiah chapter 43, verses 18 to 19. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to protect your peace, and you are allowed to walk away from what no longer aligns with the healed version of you. As per usual, if you have any questions, comments, or queries, feel free to reach out to me at belovedwithcherise@gmail.com. I'm also going to share the link to onlinetherapy.com, which is an affiliate link if you're navigating any kind of relational grief and you need support, or any kind of support in general, therapy-related support. And if you do use this link, it means that I may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. And yeah, that's it for today's episode. So until next time, stay rooted in truth, wrapped in grace, and never forget that you are beloved.